Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Does anybody really know what time it is? It's time for New Life Live, and I know you really care. We are here to offer hope to caring, compassionate people, we are here to offer caring, compassionate hope to people that have been dealt some pretty major blows and helping you deal with your situation today. We've got licensed marriage and family therapist Chris Williams. Sitting between Chris and me is clinical psychologist Dr. Jill Hubbard. I'm Brian, by the way. And Chris, how's Jill? Jill, how's Chris?
Jill is fantastic.
Yes.
I wish I had
Chris,
Jill's life.
well...
Right? Yeah, it's so shaky.
Let's be honest now. No. So, Jill, what's on your mind to start us off today?
Okay, well, I'm not starting off with a confession, Chris. Well, not yet. But
not yet. Well, it's still early.
I know, it's still early. Okay, I'm thinking of the power of no, appropriate limits, boundaries, things that we've been talking a lot about lately. And, it's no mistake that God, in his creation of our developmental journey, we learn to say no before we learn to say yes. Because after we have been bonded and attached, we need to know that we are also separate beings from other people. And so it's really important to know, who we are and to know what our limits are in life. And that's okay to exercise. And I just think there's so many people that are so afraid to use that no muscle and are so worried that it's being mean or people won't like them or, that they didn't learn that it was okay to be separate. And, I always, when my kids were young, I always tried to let them know, of course, at age appropriate, you get to have your own opinions and ideas, right? But I'm going to teach you what I think is right. I think about when here's the confession part. So when my son was young and like first grade, and I'd have to pick up the kids after school, often, and nobody would be surprised by this, I was like the last parent in the line before the gate closed, right? Picking them up because I'm working single mom, trying to get there before they got put into the daycare. And so there were numerous times where I would get there and my son was nowhere to be found. And so my son would take it upon himself to create his own play dates. And he would jump into people's cars and tell them his mom's working and that he needed a ride. And so he would go to their house. And so
very resourceful.
He's very resourceful.
And this is before cell phones, so it's not like he could get a hold of you.
I know. And so I remember this one mom would do this. And, it's kind of panicky. Anyway, I had to finally let this mom know, it's not okay for you to take my child. And a 5-year-old is telling you it's okay. And it's not okay. Yeah. Like that doesn't work for me when you take my child and I don't know. And so that was me having to set a boundary. Wasn't mean, wasn't unkind, but I had to let her know. And I think about sometimes, a couple of great lines when we are setting boundaries is that I'm not comfortable with that or that doesn't work for me. Nonetheless, I'm not comfortable with that. I appreciate your efforts. Nonetheless, I'm not comfortable with you taking my child when I don't know about it. So now, to tell my friend, you don't get to do this. I'm giving her a rule, okay? It's also my boundary.
Yeah.
And again, I had so much more to say about this, but we will stop there because I hear the music.
How do we say, I'm not comfortable with that, with a smile on our face?
With a smile on our face?
Yes, because, if it's something serious, of course.
I think it has to match the situation, too, right? If it's a one-time situation, then you say, I'm sorry you got that message. I'm not really comfortable with you I'm not comfortable with you taking my son. I'd appreciate if you contacted me first, or we prearranged it, right? So you just give your preference, and if they don't respect it, then you have to get firmer.
Yes, indeed. All right, we'll be back on New Life Live.
I was stuck. I was so stuck. 27 years married. My husband addicted to pornography for the majority of our marriage. I was very isolated and didn't really know which way to turn.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or a physical affair, or pornography, Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we can still be restored. We are not stuck because someone else made a decision. That God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our lives. Our wellness does not hinge on another person's decision.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Washington, D.C. November 7th to the 9th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50.
You guys helped me figure out what was going on.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And let's go to Annapolis, Maryland. Mary, listening on WAVA. Thank you so much for calling New Life Live today.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call. I have concerns about my 26-year-old daughter-in-law. She's been diagnosed with ADHD, depression, anxiety, has been under the care of a psychiatrist. She was in nursing school, was due to graduate this past May, but she missed that semester, or she was unable to graduate, missed it by 3 points, which is utterly devastating. But since then, she has been really non-functional. My son reports that he can't get her to leave the bedroom most of the time. She sleeps until about noon or 1 o'clock, about the time when he has to go to work. He's working 6 days a week trying to make ends meet. They have a almost 5-year-old daughter who is precious. And my husband, who's a wonderful man, has been letting them stay in his house for about 3.5 years. And the goal was that she would graduate from nursing school, and then we would be putting that house on the market. He's due to retire, and he had major heart surgery just in June this year, so he does need to retire. And so we are just at a real loss of what to do, because she will not seek help.
Can I ask a quick question, Mary? Do you know if she struggles with an eating disorder?
I think she probably did at one point. She was very, very thin, but now she's healthier. But I would say yes. I know she has some sort of childhood trauma. I don't know what.
And that's also part of what I'm getting to is that we really, really need to look at this situation right now as a life-threatening medical condition.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. And this huge challenge here is, and the reason I asked about the eating disorder from the past, because there's an internal system working against her that also tends to be very resistant to treatment.
Yes. Yeah.
So, right? Like she doesn't want to get help.
Right.
And so you may even need to, we want to be able to get her into an appropriate program that would work best for her. I believe she probably needs like a 30-day inpatient, maybe 60-day inpatient. But you also may need to look at potentially getting an interventionist involved.
Yes.
Okay.
Because what's happening with the child too? If she's in bed, I mean, it sounds like, severe loss for her. Like to miss graduating by 3 points.
Yeah, things are stacking up.
Right,
against
and
her.
if she, had a previous eating disorder, there's perfectionism in there. Right, a lot of people were writing on this, and it's too much for her to handle. So she's gone into a deep depression, which does require, she may not be able to pull herself out of this. and pick
Right.
up the pieces, right? So she does
Right.
need extra help in that. And then, who is taking care of the 5-year-old?
Yeah.
Well, my son says that she is definitely taking care of her when he's at work, which is from about 1:30 till 11:30 at night, and that she does activities with their daughter. But I know the daughter. I see signs of some anxiety in her that I've never seen before, and I'm getting quite concerned about her. My granddaughter. She's a precious girl. She starts kindergarten soon, which I think will be really good for her. But this is definitely having its effect on her, of course.
So your granddaughter, you're seeing anxiety
Yeah.
in your granddaughter.
Yeah,
Wow.
because mommy's not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? And
sad.
she,
Right.
5-year-old doesn't know how to make mommy okay.
And
No, and she knows.
And the biggest, my guess is that the biggest barrier for your daughter-in-law to get treatment is your granddaughter. And the irony is it's the biggest reason she needs to get the care that she and the treatment that she needs to engage in. So this is going to require, I do believe, a higher level of intervention from a professional interventionist that can help you guys put the full court pressure on, not from a oppositional point of view, but from a supportive point of view to get her into the help. Because it also sounds like your daughter-in-law is a remarkable person with great gifts and skills and intelligence, and it's just getting buried under her own internal struggles.
Exactly.
And so
And that's the primary steps I think that need to be taken. Mary, giving us, a little bit about, your husband and the house and all of that. I hear that. That's your guys' need. That is probably too much of a pressure for her right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have to do what you have to do.
Exactly.
To take care of yourselves, but that's not going to motivate her to get help.
Right.
Right, that's just
Right.
going to pile it on and have her go deeper. And so,
Yes.
Right,
That's
being-
what we're concerned about. Yeah.
being loving and supportive, and
Okay.
the fact that her daughter, you're seeing the anxiety, and that she needs to get help for the 5-year-old, meaning for
Right.
herself, for her daughter. Right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that you guys will help facilitate that. But it's not, no, I don't want to get help. It's not an option not to get help.
Yeah, and I know
at this point.
And I know here at New Life we are connected with the interventionist. You do want to get an interventionist who specializes in mental health, not just obviously addiction. That would be connected to some really good mental health resources that she can be a part of and get treatment for. And I have a different suggestion, I think, for the resource. I think it's how people grow.
Okay.
The reason for that is because when we miss certain developmental needs throughout our life, it really does turn into some sort of disordered or disruptive process inside of us.
Yeah.
And so I think that How People Grow by Cloud and Townsend would be like help us understand what's going on behind the scenes inside of daughter-in-law that is contributing to what's against her. Right?
Is that like stunted growth? 'Cause I've heard that term before.
Yeah, it's stunted growth, but we develop these, well, for lack of a better word, maladaptive coping mechanisms. Most addictions are maladaptive coping mechanisms. An eating disorder is a way to cope with my
With the pain.
my internal world that is in utter chaos and out of control. And quite honestly, underneath all of that, it's typically driven by a deep sense of shame. And shame oftentimes is introduced through abuse. So unpacking all of that and getting her core needs met and core treatment and care is really important so that all of the things that she can be a part of in her life can show up.
And Mary, okay, you're naming these diagnoses. So who diagnosed her? I mean,
That's a great
she's
question,
been-
yeah.
Well,
A-
yes, she
and-
has. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well,
She has a psychiatrist.
okay.
Yes.
She does have a psychiatrist. And has your son gone with her to the psychiatrist to tell what's really going on?
Probably not. I would think not, because I'm not even sure if if they have reached out to the psychiatrist.
Well, for
I know that-
ADHD medication, if she's on medication,
Yeah, that's true.
you have to go, and they have to. I mean, there are, depending on where you live, there are laws where they have to see you face to face so many times
That's true.
before they can
That's
keep
right.
renewing the medication. So I think, your son could even maybe email the psychiatrist. I mean, people can say things to us as therapists or to doctors, even if we can't break confidentiality. You can still get information to us. But it would be best if he could go in with for an appointment. But if not, email the psychiatrist and say, this is what's going on, and ask for help.
Mary, stay on the phone. We want to send you a copy of How People Grow from the newlife.com store. And now we're going to talk to Danny, who is in Los Angeles listening on KKLA. Hi, Danny. Welcome to New Life Live.
Hi, good morning to the panel, Chris and Jill and the rest of the panel. Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Good morning, Danny.
Good morning. Here's my question to you guys. I am a Christian, me and my wife, and African-American. We live here in Los Angeles, California. My wife is of a mixed race. Her father is white and her mom was black. Here's my problem. Her father molested her for many years when she was young. And in our marriage, it has shown itself greatly. I've been trying to deal with this because I love my wife, and I reached out to a worldly counselor, and that didn't go well at all.
How long have you two been married, Danny?
9 years.
Okay.
And the problem with this is that my wife don't believe she needs help. She suppresses it, tries not to think about it. And so I've been seeing the effects it has had on my wife and on our marriage and her behavior.
That's not working so well. Her suppressing it.
Exactly.
So I'm curious, what did her worldly counselor suggest? That
we get a divorce.
Really?
Oh,
Whoa.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. For getting her. And so here's where I'm seeing a lot of the problems here with her. She don't want me to give myself to anyone but her. She thinks all my energy, money, love should be directed towards her, and when it's not, she acts out. I'm ministering over a men's discipleship Bible study group, and here's the example. And it's on a Thursday, and every time I'm preparing, and it gets like to a Tuesday or Wednesday, she acts out.
And when she acts out, what does that look like?
Oh man. I mean, like it's something that she might even create. I'll give you another example here. If I give my time to my son, it's not our son together. It's my youngest child who hasn't had a job. And so I was helped take care of him until he got a job. He just got a job here over the last month. So that's been a blessing. But every time I would try to help him financially and any other kind of way, she would act out. I mean, like it's always negative.
Act out like she...
Yeah, what exactly does acting out look like?
Well, she would, let me see if I could get this right. She would tell me I shouldn't be helping him. She would tell me...
She would get angry at you or yell at you?
He would get very angry with me. It's like she would find something, even if I'm getting ready to teach a men's group, she would find something. And I would tell her that, do you notice that every time I'm getting ready to teach a group, you act out, you find something? And I had even said to her, you don't like peace in your home? And I know that may not have been the right thing to say, but I just was trying to bring up to her and make her knowledge.
She has a scarcity mentality. There's not enough to go around. And if you share with others, it's like they're taking from her
Taking
what she
from her,
needs,
exactly.
because there's not
Exactly.
enough reassurance in the world to make her feel okay and to keep suppressed all that she has been suppressing. So she's using the current adoration and attention to kind of stuff all that stuff down. Because how horrible to be molested by your father. I can't think of something that would make you feel more devalued.
Well, there is a hole at the bottom of her bucket.
Yeah.
So the more you put in, the more it leaks out. Mm-hmm. And so there's nothing anyone can do about that except for her. But I have a strategy for you, Danny, but we got to head to a break
I knew
here
you
soon.
would, Chris.
Yeah.
He always does. He either has a confession or a strategy. And that's why we love Chris Williams and Dr. Jill Hubbard. We're going to be here taking more of your calls. Danny, we'll come back to you and see how many more we can get in before the hour ends. Thank you so much for watching and listening to New Life Live.
Here at New Life, we want you to have transformation. And so we have created the New Life courses, and you meet weekly on Zoom with a coach or counselor. You're going to have teaching as well as that group connection, because we know how powerful that is. We hear that all the time about our intensives, that they love the information, but the group process is so powerful. And many of you have been hesitant to participate because you're not sure, the timing, the price. The New Life courses are going to meet you right at that area of need. Every week you're meeting on Zoom with that therapist. You're going over the concepts as well as connecting as a group. It is so powerful, and it's accessible. Wherever you are, you're going to be able to join us.
Embark on your journey of personal growth and self-discovery in September with a New Life course. Lose it for life, take your life back, or healing is a choice. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Club New Life changes lives.
You guys came along into my life in 2022. That was a really, really difficult year of my life.
You can help New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people by joining Club New Life today.
I began to really process a lot of things that I've needed to for a long time, and y'all were a very big part of that.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
I came out of it having never experienced anything like that, and y'all were there.
Join today and help continue the message of hope to a troubled world.
I knew I had to keep going, and I joined Club New Life, and y'all have been the resource that has now been a light for my wife and I.
Go to newlife.com/CNL, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places.
Keep doing what you do, because it makes a difference.
newlife.com/CNL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We've all been in suspense wondering what Chris Williams' strategy is going to be for Danny. We finally get to hear it. Danny's been waiting. You're still with us, Danny?
Sure have. I'm with you. I'm waiting.
Oh man, I feel the pressure. I feel the pressure.
Well, it's not that great, Danny, but
yeah. So Danny,
I heard it. No.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up too much here. But no, Danny, when I believe that your wife is dealing with a tremendous amount of internalized shame as a result of her abuse.
I agree.
And so she feels constantly that she is the problem. Now, if you say you need to go to counseling, it lights that part of her on fire. So the strategy would be for you, Danny, to be like, no, I need help. I'm not doing this marriage very well. Now, it doesn't mean you're a bad husband. Doesn't mean that any of that. It just means that, hey, I'm going to go get help and figure this thing out. Would you come along with me?
Would you tell the counselor and help them to understand what I'm doing wrong here in this marriage?
Yeah.
So is this couples counseling or?
Well,
it is.
could be. I mean, you could start with individual and then invite her in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if she'd be willing to go to our marriage intensive, but intimacy in marriage would be a great place for her to start exploring it, because actually one of the things that we do, and especially through the book How We Love, but in our intimacy in marriage, is we talk about the impact of our childhood on our current relationships. You know,
Oh, wow.
It's really
we
good.
We are
Danny.
history beings, you know. And so one of the things that I steal from Milan Yurkovich all the time is that we must learn to get PhDs in each other's childhood. You know, I think of it this way. You know, when I married my wife, I thought I was getting the current chapter. Right?
Oh, wow.
So what? She was 25 when we married. There was 25 previous chapters that I needed to end up learning and reading.
Yeah.
So I knew the iteration that I was getting, and vice versa.
Okay, and here's another thing. So, Danny, when someone is like this, there's a tendency to want to create some distance emotionally so that you have some space. But here's the thing. It sounds like one of her issues is with distance and closeness. So as long, and she's going to want to be much closer than maybe you're comfortable with. So when she hears you're moving away from her by, I'm going to the men's group, I'm helping here, right? She's like, oh, that gap is getting bigger. And her anxiety's going up, and she's feeling afraid. And because it's like she needs you super close. So use language that talks about closeness and distance.
That's really
I
good.
notice that when you feel more distant from me, you feel disconnected. How can we stay connected even when I'm working on the guys' Bible study? And let her provide some of the ideas for that. And so, when she, again, starts to do this, like all behavior has meaning. So you got to get down to the meaning of it. What is your acting out trying to tell me? And she may tell you all the surface stuff. No, let's go a little deeper than that. I think you get afraid. I think you get afraid that I'm not going to, want to be with you or be faithful to you or whatever it is. You've got to find out. But using that kind of language, and then with the marriage weekend, right, you want to learn to be closer to her. And really, you're going to learn appropriate closeness, Danny. But, I want to learn, would you come with me on this marriage retreat so we can really bond and learn about each other and make our relationship the number one thing? See, all of that are ways, it's a positive spin on getting help.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Danny, stay on the phone. We're going to send you a copy of How We Love, and we also want you to sign up for the Intimacy and Marriage Weekend Intensive. It is happening October 17th through the 19th in Dallas. There's plenty of time for you to get registered and get more details at newlife.com or by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Let's talk to Grace in Huntington Beach, listening to us on KKLA. Hi there, Grace. Welcome to New Life Live.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Maybe it's afternoon where you're at. So I'm calling regarding, I don't believe in coincidences, and so I was looking at your guys' website because I have your app on my phone, and something came up, and so I was chatting with a person, and then when I was asking her about scholarships, she said, "Can I have your number? I would like to ask you. I want to tell you something about something else." So when she called me, she said, "Okay, we don't have scholarships for what you're looking at, but I actually think something's better." And she was telling me about the intensive that you just offered to Denny. And she said, "I think that's better, this, and that." And so I was telling her, I'm not one to summarize well. And so she was saying, like, you know what, I think that the counselors would be better, but she said, I think that would be much better for you and your husband. And I said, well, he wants a divorce, this, and that. And she said, let me give you hope, because there was a couple before, and they had the divorce papers and everything, and by the time they ended, they ripped them up. And I said, well, I believe in miracles. I am disabled due to a car accident prior to marrying my husband, and I outlived all the things. I had a torn aorta, brain injury, and a paralyzed vocal cord, and now I can't shut up enough. So I've outlived all those things. So I believe in miracles, but I also know with marriage, it's 2 feet in, and it's not just me.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Well, Grace, we're coming up to a break, so stay on the phone. Don't hang up. We will continue the conversation on the other side. We'll find out what else is going on with you. And yes, that Intimacy and Marriage Weekend has saved many marriages.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And let's go back to Grace in Huntington Beach. You still with us, Grace?
Hey, hi, yes, I'm here.
Wonderful. All right.
Well, Grace, if your husband was here, what would he say is the reason he wants to get a divorce?
He said, I've tried everything, I'm willing to do everything, and he puts the blame on me. And I am a part of a Christian counseling group for abuse.
But let me go back to something. So sorry to jump in, because I want to get to the heart of it.
No, but
when he says you're to blame, what is he blaming you for?
All the above.
Oh, getting help?
Everything.
Getting support? Like...
No, he says I've tried everything, and he says I'm the one that's given up, and when I've called,
it's just a curious question, because when I have someone go that vague and that broad, do you suspect that there is another person that he's involved with?
I hope not, but I don't know. It could be possible, but I hope not.
I hope
but
not either.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah. Well, because usually when they can't point to something specific, when they've quote unquote tried everything.
Yeah. What has he tried?
Those all mean something. Like, have you been in couples counseling? Have you gone to intensives? Have you?
What has he
been
told
in
you
support
he
groups?
needs? What does he want from you? What aren't you doing?
Well, we are a mixed race, which I always knew I probably would be, just because I've lived in the ministry in many different places, but he puts it on me as I'm not doing enough. Like I am disabled prior to marrying him. I went in a wheelchair due to a car accident, but I've done ministry. This is my disability. I kind of look at Johnny Erickson Carter is my role model. And I just say, God uses me whether I'm sitting or standing. It doesn't matter what you have or don't have. God can use anybody. But anyhow, I also
have you guys done have you guys done couples counseling?
Yeah, but that was horrible. And I've learned that.
How many times did you go?
Good.
How many times did you go?
several times, but the thing, it becomes worse when you have an abusive situation. The things that are shared in couple counseling, it becomes used as in the car, as well as you should have never done this. Yeah, it becomes not healthy at all, very toxic. It's very scary doing couple counseling. It's better to do individual.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think you need to do some investigative work, to be honest.
Okay.
I think that there might be, I'm not trying to accuse him of anything he hasn't done.
No.
But based on his reaction and based on a pattern that sounds very familiar to gaslighting, that there is something that something that he's hiding. And he's scapegoating you in justification for his behavior.
Well, I have some psychology major, so I kind of see red flags that you're talking about.
Okay. So I would suggest that, before he divorces you, that you maybe throw a Hail Mary, and the Hail Mary would be like, before you do this, will you join me in a marriage intensive? Our intimacy in marriage would be a great place. Now, again, we don't want to put you in an unsafe situation where he can weaponize that experience against you, as he's done before. But if you've gone to get help, he's saying he's done everything, but it ends up being the help becomes dangerous to you, then we're dealing with a really unsafe situation here.
No, I'm not ignorant that I have Leslie Leonard as my support group that I'm online, and so I got involved from that. Let's focus on the family, and I'm trying to find an individual, and I have gotten one that's connected, like it's paid for through the state.
Okay, good. Because Grace, you're in a situation where before you look at reconciliation in the marriage, there's one thing that is a non-negotiable in reconciliation, and it's safety. If it's not safe, it can't be anything else. And so it doesn't sound like you're in a safe situation. So I would continue to doing some investigation of what may be dangerous and unsafe in this situation right now.
Well, and not only is it, him being a guy, where we women feel a differential of physical power, you're in a wheelchair as well. And so, I mean, you haven't said that he's physically violent, but there's
some vulnerabilities that have to be
and
paid
power
attention
plays
to.
And with the gaslighting, I think that's right. And it's sad to have to say that, but you do need to open your eyes and not be afraid to look, because a lot of times the signs are right there. And so and get people to come alongside you, which it sounds like you have already done that, to help you in this.
So the Intimacy and Marriage Weekend, as you already heard, Grace, but we're going to say it again. It's happening October 17th in Dallas, Texas. So we do hope that you guys can sign up for that. But your safety is our main concern for you here. What book might we be able to send Grace from the newlife.com store?
I'm thinking about
certainly How We Love.
How We Love.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's start with How We Love.
You know what, though, really quick, Grace brought something up that I wonder if other couples might consider when it comes to going to counseling together. They go to the appointment, as they're driving back, new argument sets in because of something that was said by either party. So how can that be avoided, or should it be avoided?
Well, hopefully you're given some guidance from the counselor on that. Like early on, when there is, if I'm seeing a couple and they have an issue that they come to me, and we're in session 2, and this issue has been alive for 3 years, it's not going to be resolved. So I actually have them set a boundary. You're not allowed to talk about it. Okay. Avoidance here is okay, because engagement is only going to deepen the problem. And so let's get the tools in place first that allows us to confront the issue before just jumping in and repeating the same problem over and over again.
Right. If you have upset about it, you even can journal it, bring it into the next session, talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. Good advice. Jenna in Dallas, Texas, you're next here on New Life Live. Welcome.
Oh, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah. How can we help you?
My marriage is dead. We've been married for 15 years, and there's been substance abuse after substance abuse. He's been in rehab 4 times. last week I found out about him being unfaithful. And the beginning of the marriage, it was really good. He was walking with the Lord, but now he's pretty much given up on most everything. So I'm not in immediate danger, but enough is enough.
When would you say it started going downhill?
5 years ago.
Okay.
5 years ago.
What happened then?
Me. I found out he had a relapse of drinking and tried to hide it. But then one day I just found out. And but the patterns were avoiding, not wanting to talk about it, me ask about anything, explosive fight, not wanting to do the normal things that we had previously done, like have dinner together, talk before we go to sleep at night.
How many infidelities?
Read the Bible together.
Yeah, how many infidelities are we talking about here?
Well, I accidentally found out. I just had a sneaky suspicion, so I got on to his social media and backtracked and found out about other women that way. So, and then it was obvious that he had been watching things and engaging. And when I confronted him, he didn't deny anything, and he said he shouldn't have.
Okay. So he really is in crisis and needs a lot of help. But you don't need to be, just like I said to Grace, if it's not safe, it can't be anything else. And so you're in an unsafe situation. So Jenna, what's the question for us today around your marriage?
Well, I mean, obviously as a Christian, I want to save it, but then I want to be wise.
Yes.
I don't want to enable this going on. It's been already 5 years. Financially, it's hard to just step out and get my own home, apartment or whatever. So I'm facing that, but I'm contemplating, working on a backup plan. But the fact that he says he wants to save it just gives me a little bit of encouragement, but I've heard it so many times. So that's enough is enough. And so I've asked him, what does he want to do? But I don't get any action.
And could that be something that he's using as a way to just keep stringing her along, would you say?
Well,
maybe,
I mean, it's a proverbial case of the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? Intentions gain you nothing. It's going to take tremendous amount of work on his part, and if he's not willing to do the work is the largest communicator. The words mean nothing here. That's this really hard place to be, because I do believe he wants help. He's just not doing it.
Yeah, we'll be back here on New Life Live.
Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then becoming a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
I'm so thankful because why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch, listening to all this great information and not paying. So my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His
his.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And back to Jenna in Dallas, Texas, watching us on NRB TV. That's DirecTV channel 378. You still with us, Jenna?
Yes.
Great.
So, Jenna, I'm so sorry that you have been going through this. I mean, this is a long journey, the last 5 years. Your husband, you said, has been in rehab 4 times. Yeah. So what has happened after each rehab in terms of his ongoing work?
The first time he came back and didn't even get through detox.
Okay.
The second time he went, and it was actually a Christian facility. After detox, he was able to go to the Christian facility. He stayed about 30 days that time, but was kicking and screaming and didn't want to stay, but eventually did.
Okay.
The third time went through a program, didn't finish detox, came back home, and I gave him an ultimatum, and he went back, but didn't finish it, the remaining part, after he got out of detox. The last one, he made arrangements for himself to go, and then canceled it the day he was supposed to leave.
So he didn't go.
So then I gave him the ultimatum, and had to be really, strong. And he ended up going, but ended up coming back and didn't finish detox.
So what you're telling me is he has yet to be to treatment.
Yeah, he's never really finished the program.
Working in the throes of drug and alcohol addiction and treatment centers, I can definitively say with authority that detox is not treatment.
Second time he did the 30-day program.
And I'll be honest, people deep into substance use disorder, 30 days is when they land.
Yeah, it's scratching
They're
the surface.
not even, they're on the tarmac. They haven't even gone to the arrival gate. Because post-acute, post-acute detox is an emotional detox that can last up to 18 months. I mention all of this is because treatment's long-term, and addiction can be, and oftentimes is, a chronic disease, meaning that you have to treat it every day for the rest of your life. And then there's this underlying one that I do believe is probably the core, and that's a sexual addiction.
Yeah, people often cross-addict, or they use one to medicate the other.
And then, or you just end up playing whack-a-mole with your different medicative devices or addictive devices. And so, Jenna, I just want this to be clear. A couple of things. Your husband has yet to really engage in treatment in a way that there might be a pain in his past that he's avoiding. There could be a lot of different reasons. But unless he...
and then the addiction itself creates more pain and trauma.
Absolutely.
And shame.
And drives the shame deeper.
Yes.
Yeah. And so your powerlessness here is really, really profound. But one of the things that I hear in your fear that I want to honor but also confront at the same time, the fear of finances, like financial scarcity or the lack of resources to make it on your own, I think is a real fear and it's legitimate. But I also think that it's false to believe that being with your husband makes you financially secure. This person is this person is not a financially reliable resource for you.
What do you think of that, Jenna?
Okay, so therefore...
Amen.
Like you are the stable one in this relationship, Jenna. Yeah. I think you're carrying way more than you realize.
And you need recovery from his addiction. you need to get yourself safe first. And so that's where I do believe that there probably is some radical measures you need to make to separate yourself out from what's going on with him. Being strong boundaries, including...
Right, because every time you have stepped in, he has done something, but he's got to take ownership of it. So, right, what's working for you and what isn't working for you. Infidelity, I would say, is not working for you, for him to be unfaithful. Yeah. That's just no way, right? And so you may have to separate from him financially.
Yes.
So that he feels the weight, right? I mean, it's not a drug addict, guy without any money isn't very attractive, right? In terms of the infidelity. But so you have to do what you have to do to protect you and to minimize the impact of what he's doing. And I hear... And like so many addicts, their words, they mean them when they say that.
Yes.
But his protest that you have described, and that internal resistance keeps them from following through. Because, addiction is an escape. It's a coping. It's a running away from dealing with things. And you're asking him to deal with things. And that's probably terrifying to him. And so, not allowing him, options and resources that keep him running in this cycle. He needs to hit his up against himself.
Yeah.
But you do this in a loving way. I care about you. I love you.
But I can't be a part of this.
But I can't be a part of this.
Yeah.
And this hurts too much. And this can't be a part of our marriage. And that you do think he needs help. And that there's obviously a lot of pain that he's running from. And that you want to see him be free from that. But you're going to have to protect yourself from his actions.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pushing you to do that.
What do you think you're going to do now, Jenna? What are you thinking?
Well, I've been thinking, I've just putting some things in order. And have to just, I know the Lord will provide. And I'm thinking short term, set myself for 1 to 3 months somewhere else.
That's good.
Well,
and have no involvement with him.
Yes.
And do you need to leave the home, or can he leave?
See, that's the thing, that I don't want to get into another issue, but I am taking care of a family member where it's not feasible and it's not realistic and it's not even wise for me to leave, but he has stated he refuses to.
Okay, so then I want to add a step to this. Legal separation.
Yes.
Okay, because you need to legally protect your own assets. And I hate to get into all this. I'm not a lawyer, can't give legal advice, but I've seen it over and over where the person who leaves, then that's used against them.
Yep. That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, if you get a legal separation in place, then you still get to be protected in the assets.
So what you're saying is
require him to leave versus me.
It wouldn't necessarily require him to leave, but it protects you and your rights when you leave, and it protects your finances.
Should we send her a copy of Boundaries? Would that be the best book?
I think that's good. And there's 2 other things. I would just say, Jenna, you may already be involved, but if not, get involved in an Al-Anon or a CODA group, a Codependency Anonymous group.
Or COSA.
Or COSA,
Codependence of Sex Addicts.
Yep. I think
that's a good one.
It's, I think, a really good one. And I would just today sign up for Restore. I know it's not coming up until November, but I couldn't recommend that experience for her enough.
Restore happening in November. You can find out about it at newlife.com. And giving to New Life enables people to get in contact with Christ-centered help. Your generosity goes a long way to help a hurting person find hope, healing, and a brand new start. Make a gift now now at newlife.com or by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE. You can also text NLM to 28950. We can't be out of time. We still have people to talk to. Okay, you guys, we'll be here tomorrow. So call us back, please. Please call us. Call us early, and the sooner you call in, the better of a chance you'll get on. God bless you guys. We'll talk to you next time on New Life Live.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.